Well, I'm definitely in agreement with you, Mario, in reference to, because it's almost like now we become the laughing stock of any city, and we're not getting
Hey,
anything
Jane,
done.
Mario was on mute, so everybody that was on didn't hear anything he said.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me repeat that. I said that I was at that meeting and I saw what happened and I saw Khalid's press conference afterwards. And the one thing that I was reminding everybody is that how can we get our elected officials to focus on the business of the people rather than their own infighting? I mean, we become the laughing stock of multiple cities, and the news doesn't paint us in the best light because we have this constant infighting. How can we get our elected officials to refocus on the business of the people?
And I was just saying that I totally agree with Mario, because we can't even get any infrastructure going on here in the city of South Fulton. No, development happening here in the city of South Fulton. I mean, I've been now talking about sidewalks and the overgrown branches and trees and grass and better lighting. And I know they have that the lighting thing going on, and every time I log on to the city of South Fulton, it's always asking me about the survey for that particular project, which it seems like nothing is happening. So we definitely need to see something going on, or as people say, we got to get back to the ballot, to the voting, and vote some of these people out. Period. I mean, that's where it's going to count. You got to hit the people where it hurts, and it hurts at the voting poll. So that's my love.
Well, my opinion, this is Wanda. It's when Mario said, "What do we need to do?" It's more like what they need to do, because this has been ongoing for the 5 years that we've been in existence as a city. And at some point, somebody has to put on big girl panties, big boy draws, as they say, and just put differences aside and run state business. I mean, county or city business. And it's getting very embarrassing. It's got me as a resident that's been in Fulton County all her life, the majority of it, just wanted to just move to another city just to not be a part of it. And that's not what you want to do, chase your residents away. It's almost like I wish they could put a gag order on all of them, so that every time something happens, you don't automatically just run to the press. Recently, I saw where Brookhaven was talking about having drone technology in their police department. Well, we also do, so the city of South Fulton. But we missed that positive story just because we were in the middle of mess. So
Exactly.
Those are the things that I, hate seeing our city every time it's highlighted, mostly in a bad manner.
Great.
Well, this is the
Mr.
thing.
Farrah?
Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, I've worked in multiple municipalities, and yes, I'm working in one that has its own issues. But what I've seen from my experiences, people need to get their personal feelings out of politics. And remember, it is a job, as you stated, is you're elected. But more importantly, we can agree to disagree. I worked in a municipality that was predominantly all, Caucasian council people. One thing I noticed, they may have disagreed, but they disagreed in private. When they came out there to sit on that chair and that table or whatever, they would voice their concern about why they're voting no against something, but it wouldn't get into a fight or argument about whatever. They're like, hey, I'm going to vote for what is best to move the city forward. That's always what they said. I'm voting for what is best is going to move the city forward, even though I disagree. And, or my vote is no, and this is why it's no. I'm still gonna honor the fact that I'm an elected official, and if the majority rules and that's what they feel is the best, that's what is best. It's not about, it's all about egos in South Fulton currently, in my opinion, and for various reasons. I have no idea why, but that's what it seems to be. So.
And I agree with you too, Mr. Farrell. You know, if you even, now I'm just gonna say, even talking to, you know, different Republicans, I mean, not me talking to them, but I'm just saying they have different opinions at all times. And when it comes to making sure a goal is met, you better believe they are focused on getting that goal met and making sure it is achieved at whatever cost. You know, they don't care about personal feelings. They don't even care if they like you or not, but they get it done. And that's some of the things we got to get done as well. You know, it's like, it's just so much to do to be focused on some of this, you know, negative stuff. Get it done and let's move forward.
And at the end of the day,
As playing in team sports, it's all about protecting the brand, right? Just as everybody said, we can agree to disagree, but still being on the same page to get the job done. All of the things that are happening behind the scenes. I just came off the meeting with the Downtown Development Authority for South Fulton. They're moving forward. We are being stagnant by the negative publicity. And the whole thing about it is this: we still have a chance to save this. I mean, if everybody gets on one page, gets on one accord and said, look, even though we agree to disagree, let's move forward and protect South Fulton and protect our image and protect our brand. Now, those businesses that want to come and develop here, those developers that want to come here, now we can focus on the business of holding them to a higher standard. So that's exactly what we need to be able to do. And that's what we need to be able to focus on. And the only reason I said what we can do is just remind those elected officials, that's what you're here for. That's the most important thing in my eyes.
absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so, you know, as we are meeting live over here, but what I want to do is what we are talking about, protecting the brand and what the city is. This is what it's all about. Is the youth. What I'm over here at Welcome All Park, and I had to come over here because I want to give us a proper send off to our national championship contesting team, Swordfish, as they're getting ready to depart here and go to nationals. And hello, parents, how are y'all doing? All right, all right. But these are y'all the team. Y'all the team. Y'all about to go win nationals. Y'all going to bring home the gold. Y'all going to bring #1 title. Right, because who are y'all? That's right. And what y'all go, and who y'all swim for? Absolutely. I'm Corey Reeves and I represent District 5. And so these are, you got us and we online and we are sending y'all off properly to tell y'all to go in and go bring back that home trophy. Bring back the gold. Y'all #1. Right. Not #2, not #3. #1. Y'all bring it back. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, and the fifth says hello and congratulations. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Parents, thank y'all. And thank y'all for choosing South Fulton. Absolutely. Well, I gotta go. So I'm sorry, but hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's what it's about. They're about to bring back this title. Talking about the brand now. We can get back to what we was talking about because I know it's the hot topic.
The business of the city, that's right.
Oh, it's the top news. And so, but as you know, we don't run from it, we run to it. And I'm getting ready to head over to Burdette. But all right. Thank y'all. All right, I'm gonna call.
Okay,
So
Mario.
So anyway, so what questions y'all have for me? Because I know it's a ton. Right. Congratulations.
Yes, I was just about to ask Councilman Reeves, I was just about to ask Mario since he was there, you know, well, what happened from the meeting? Like, what were the results from the meeting? First of all, why was the meeting held? And then what happened from the meeting?
A motion was made to remove the mayor as chair for the meeting, for the remainder of the meeting. And then another motion was made for the loss negotiations on who we send there. And then common leader made, then there was another motion made, and then I made the motion to vote of no confidence. And so Mayor Khalid is still the mayor. Now, we want to be very clear here, still the mayor. And as I said, I mean, that had to be done because you just can't do what you did, and that's release confidential documents unredacted on an ongoing investigation. That has nothing to do with council. You put my vote of no confidence was that decision. And as I said, I pray for him to, just get it right, and hopefully we can get past this. But he is our mayor, and he's still our mayor, and he's duly elected. And so I respect that 100%. But you just can't, as a sitting mayor, do things like that, as I just think that is reckless, and that takes it beyond the council, as you just now have subject yourself to other things that may come of that, which will disrupt your leadership and what we have to get done during this budget time of the year, which is our Super Bowl. And this is why we are elected. So I stand behind it, and I defend it. And so because it was not coming from no place other than that, that's something that was necessary, that had to be done. If it was me, I would expect it to be done for me as well. So
So I'm sorry to interrupt you, Councilman Reed. So no vote of no confidence, and I'm gonna get to you, Sampson, Clyde Sampson, Brother Sampson. But so a vote of no confidence, I mean, what exactly does that mean? If he remains as mayor, is it almost like a gag order, or I mean,
Just for that meeting. Just for that meeting.
oh, just for that meeting? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Oh, well. Okay, so what was the purpose of the meeting? What?
He tried to fire the city attorney.
So if the city attorneys, are they still with us? Are they still employed?
I think they voted to overturn the mayor's ruling. The
Yeah.
mayor
Well,
looked
no,
to,
it has to go through a process. I mean, he
Right.
can make the recommendation, but the council has to do like a super majority, I believe, to say no. And I don't even,
and
from a
actually,
procedural standpoint, I don't think it happened correctly on his end, on the front end. But
Right.
Yeah, he didn't do it right.
Yeah, because the thing is, what the super majority that
He's muted again.
I read that.
Mario is on mute again. We didn't hear him.
They had
So, go ahead, Jane.
So they had to ask for like due process in order to have the city attorney or the city manager removed, and that was not done. So they are still with us, or still employed. Right. So, and I read that in something of City of South Fulton. So, okay, Clyde Sampson, I see your hand.
Yeah, hi everyone.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, good. How is everybody? All right. And I have a quick question in regards to the items that were voted on at the special call meeting. I'm thinking that those items should have been on the agenda that was published for the public, instead of having just the agenda that says executive session for litigation and personnel, because those items that you voted on, I think that could have been public opinion or public comments. I think those items would have been better to have those for public comments. And I think that those items that we voted on at least should have been in print so that everyone could have a notice on what was going to be discussed in the meeting. So I just want you just to respond to that, just to see.
Executive sessions are not, by Georgia statute, you cannot discuss personnel, litigation, or real estate matters unless it's an executive session. The only thing they can do is come out and make a vote to say, or a motion to approve whatever was discussed, but that's what executive sessions are for. So it allows for some sense of privacy, because you may have one real estate matters developers coming in and you don't want people to know. Perfect example, Truist Park now, Cobb County did everything in executive session. The commissioner did to some degree to get the Braves to move to Marietta, to Cobb. Because if not, Atlanta would have been saying what? Hey, we want you to stay here. And so that's kind of how you move. Same thing with personnel, especially when you're dealing with senior staff folks, such as the city attorney and all those type of folks. The lowly personnel person, whatever the lowest wage person in the city, they're not going to necessarily be in a personnel matter unless it's more of a litigation type standpoint, something civilly. So,
but Mr. Farrell, in all due respect, I was kind of if Mr. Councilman Reeves wanted to respond to that, I was kind of wanting a response from him. But the thing is, when it comes to them coming out and a vote of non-confidence and a vote of the lost representative, I think those items that they came out and they voted on, and that really wasn't meant for executive session. In my vote of non-confidence and the lost items. So I was wondering why that wasn't basically in print, so that people can note for it.
No, my apologies. The only reason I see Councilman Reeves like jumped off again. So
okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
And also, Mr. Sampson, in certain instances, they may not have even known that they were going to vote, no confidence. That might have been something that just came up, during the meeting itself.
Yeah.
So
remember, it was a
sometimes
motion.
you can't.
It was a motion. So
that's kind of where I was, getting at. Maybe that vote of non-confidence and the loss, could have been for a later date instead of it, so that the public could have time to weigh in on it. And that was my only thing.
I thought it was because he refused to go into executive session.
Well, I was at the
Wasn't that
meeting, and I was at the meeting, and the only thing that was published was an executive session to discuss personnel. And so I was kind of expecting just the meeting, when they came back, the meeting to end. I didn't expect any votes or anything, but the vote of non-confidence and the vote of the loss, and then there was another one. I think those items, I don't really think those were personnel, because they discussed them in the public. And so if there were public items, then I think those were something that could wait for another meeting that was published, so that the public could weigh in on them. And that's pretty much all I have to say about it. But
right.
that's just my
and that was and let me just say that the lost deal was added to the agenda, and that had to be added because there was negotiations going on. There was a meeting the night before, and then that same day, but we have to have the representation on who was going to go down and sit and represent us, as ensuring that when they come back, because it's only 4 negotiators, and so they go and negotiate with Fulton County, but they come back to the body as a whole. And I'm talking about a collective body of all the cities and that make up Fulton County, and give the update and how the negotiations is going. And Fulton County started off asking for 34, 35%. And as y'all know, they were just getting 4%. So that's what that's about. And we just was like the city manager, Dr. Rao Councilwoman Rao and the city attorney. And so now the mayor's free to go down there, but at the same time, that officially that's what we had to do as to the loss, as decisions are being made, and that we have to act very swiftly on that. As y'all recall, we had a special call meeting just so we can talk about loss and those negotiations, so we can maximize the effort on the negotiation and trying to get the most that we can get, being the city of our size.
And so, Councilman Reeves, just and just one more question, and then I'll leave it alone. But so when the special meeting was called, and you knew about the loss, and you knew about the vote of non-confidence, could y'all have added that to the agenda that was published?
No, no, we didn't know. Get this. There was no discussion about the vote of no confidence. There was no discussion prior to that meeting. And so, you know, that's as you're dealing with personnel, because we had to deal with, you know, I mean, the way that our officers and Attorney Hyman. So these things, you know, unfortunately, just should not occur. And the mayor, per the charter, has the right to fire the city manager and the city attorney. But he needs 5 votes as the attorney's due process. He can fire him, but it would be a confirmation of 5 votes from the council. As y'all recall, he attempted this on inauguration day. And I'm just, I was shocked that even transpired as a press conference on Sunday, and then a meeting on Monday, and then a press conference on a Sunday, and then one on Monday. I mean, and then I didn't even know that he was suing the council. As I was inviting him to come on today. And so, and I still invite him. And so, but at the end of the day, that a culture of corruption, I mean, I'm just going to say that I don't even know what the response is to that, because I legit do not, should not, will not, and I don't understand why anybody would want to profit off the back of their city, of the citizens in their own city. That's, as an elected official, that is the most insane thing. And to be caught out there corrupt and doing something, because as I told y'all from the beginning, my mission is to stay out of hell and jail. I'm not profiting 1 penny. Like, I don't need that. And so as I do everything that I can, and I don't even react in public. I don't even go to the press. I don't do none of that. And so it actually hurt me. It's disappointing. I was disappointed greatly, because I don't want to squander this opportunity that we have. And I am not and will not be distracted, as y'all do know this is our budget season. And this distraction here is taking delicate time away from what we need to have our attention focused on.
Right.
And well,
Have
and
a
that's
quick,
why.
I'm sorry, Mr. Farrer, but we had
Oh, go ahead.
Wanda.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
we'll come back
Wanda.
to you, okay? We got Wanda, and then we got Miss Miller, Map, and then we'll come back to you, Mr. Farrer, okay? Okay, Wanda?
Hi,
Okay.
I just had, well, first of all, I want to start on a good note. Corey, I saw on Facebook in Palmetto where they were actually, someone came to the event on Friday, and they broadcasted to the people down there. That's my old hometown. But so kudos on your game nights. But moving forward with the no vote of confidence, because it seems like the mayor came out and basically he made it almost appear as if he was being removed. So was that just for that one meeting, or is it like, does it set grounds for him to be removed from office? Because that was my impression of what was about to transpire. So I'm like, what is going on? So,
And let me say this. He was just removed from chair because there was a crowd in there, and I didn't get there until I was on Zoom until executive session. I merged after executive session, but they were saying that there was a crowd that was rowdy, just pretty much as anybody who just exercising their right, really, kind of freedom of speech type deal, but being disruptive, and they felt that the rhetoric was insightful, so he was removed chair for that reason. Now, when the vote of no confidence, as I stated, is from that decision, you just can't, and that's from my perspective and that's based on that decision. It has nothing to do with nothing else, but you just cannot, as a city mayor, do that. That's judiciary implications that can have backlash on him, and that will disrupt city business. That's the perspective I'm coming from. Anything, and that's why, as discussing that is, I don't know what anybody else's intent was, or may have been. I don't question, but I know mine was coming, and that's why I elected to do that. As I hated to, but I had to, and so as I feel, and honestly, is that Mayor Pro Tem is kind of sort of like accountability partners, and as I would expect him to hold me accountable. And I didn't say I said because at the end of the day I said homeboys. Now meaning because we're from the same hometown. I wasn't, as he said on the stage, we're not friends. I don't have any like friends like that. But and when I say that is like, but we're here from the hometown. And so we owe the obligation. I think we have a different responsibility, bottom line.
right.
And we owe, get this, and we owe that. So as I do not want him to lose. Like, that is the worst possible thing that can happen. And I do not want him to remove. That's the worst possible thing that can happen. Because I look at what is our future looking at when they see it, and how do they feel. And it's very key as people are watching, young folks are watching. And so that, to me, that's consequences. But at the same time, you just can't go rogue and not be checked. And so,
right. So it was just for that meeting. So he was just removed as chair for that meeting.
He is still the mayor. Mm-hmm. He was duly elected. See, I kind of have a thing called respect for that. It's like you put your name on the ballot without anyone. And so, but at the same time, exercise your responsibility. But know that this council is a council city manager-led government. Mm-hmm. As when you run for mayor, you give up your power in the vote. Now, right. Ain't nobody walking in the city hall talking about, hey, let me see a council person. They want to see the mayor. You are influential. And you are the spokesperson. And, and I'm just saying that this is home for us. And I'm serious about protecting that brand. Like, I mean, that's what I signed up for. As I try to conduct myself in the manner that I would want somebody else to as well. There's a lot of things that I would love to do. I just can't do it because it wouldn't be the conduct that I would want to exude to the world, as I just hate the reputation that we have. And just let me just say that because
okay, who's that?
This Wanda. I had another question I want to ask. Okay. Why is the city continuously being pulled into the middle of Camelot? I know you've addressed that. The city has sent out a public statement. HOA just came back and they actually named you and Mayor, the previous Mayor Edwards, and the police department, whatever, as not doing what they were supposed to as far as trying to help them. And they they basically thank the new Mayor Khalid about his helping them. So why are we getting so much back and forth division? And when all of a sudden that with everything that's going on in the city, that everything seems to be continuously being focused back on being pulled into the Camelot situation?
Well, because that's people who want to draw attention there and get distracted. That's what they want to do. I've been addressing Camelot before this was a city, during and the end of my time as being elected, is I'm very clear on what can be done for the owner occupiers, but we didn't do what we were supposed to do. How about this? We had a whole meeting with Chief and Camelot, and we said, y'all need to do A, B, C, D, E, F. They did A and B. Okay, but they had to do A, B, C, D, E, F, as they could not do not one of those and achieve the objective in which they was trying to. And so we couldn't do anything because they didn't. I mean, this is just a fact. As we had a plan, and so I'll just tell you this because it was made public as well, is that when I learned that Camelot has a natural spring going under the clubhouse, you can only imagine what my thought process was. I said, how long have y'all known about this? Oh, wow. All you got to do is just go check the water, get with the EPD. If they can turn out there to non-potable water, now you can tap into that. Natural spring water. Now, I will share this with you because this was one of my projects, Atlantic Station. What is that, 139 acres? And they have their own water supply. Camelot's 37.9 acres. 37.9. Now, imagine if they could supply water to 100, 200 acres. But then that's where we would come in with a public-private partnership. I don't know. That's empty rhetoric for all the rest of that stuff because I've engaged a team to go look at that and try to fact find that with the EPD. So that's what I'm waiting on, is that report to come back. And then we'll know what they can do because that's for them. Now, we know they don't have the funding to do it, and they would need a public-private partnership to handle that. Does the city of South Florida make and get a water? Who knows? But we're not gonna know anything until we get that report back. So that's where I'm at with Camelot. All that rest of that stuff, they're not trying, to me, I don't think they're helping. I don't think they're doing anything to try to move the pendulum forward and doing what's right by the owner occupiers who live there, who are seniors, who've been there for 40 years and have nowhere else to go because their units are paid for. See, that's a component people don't forget. They forget about that. But you can't just get them market value and just tell them go move on. Everything is market rate. They literally have nowhere to go. So until we find a place for this and that and third, I don't even give it oxygen because it's foolishness and it's a distraction to what's really needed to go on.
Okay.
And mind you, let me just say this. Camelot is a privately owned condominium complex. If we do something for their HOA, the other 600 HOAs we have in the city are going to be calling us to do the same thing. That's important to know as well. You can't do one, but that's not a housing authority. It's not an apartment complex. We don't have no public housing. So that is literally each unit is owned by someone. So address the slumlords. And they say, oh, the code enforcement. The code enforcement's been there. But there are slumlords who would have these people living in these conditions. And why are we not trying to find them homes so they can get out of them conditions and get out of them environmental hazards and get them from getting them breathing fresh air and a comfortable place to live? So.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry. Y'all know we here at Birdette Live. I thought that, but I guess I'm not.
Some people. Miss Ellen. Miss Ellen. Miss
Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all even want to come live? Or do y'all want to meet in person? we can stay soon.
I have forgotten.
A
Yeah,
lot
I
of us
prefer
forgot.
live.
I forgot, so.
Miss Miller Map, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, hey, okay, you can go ahead
Hey.
with your question.
Okay, I was just waiting.
Okay,
But-
I called you a
but-
couple times.
I'm concerned about, and I really like to hear other people's opinions about how council meeting formats run in general. And I've posed this question to Councilman Reeves before, and it just kind of frustrates me that citizens really do not have much of an opportunity to be a part of the process, as evident in the regular meetings. And one reason is in the meeting format, we have public comments. It's a 30-minute session. The public is invited to give their comments using city's format. You have 2 minutes, and then a 30-minute session that only allows for 15 people. And since you have to give it in advance, that also depends on first come, first serve. And I think the city person named also Corey determines which questions would be answered. And so it doesn't really provide for enough public interest to be shown. And there is plenty of public interest in what's going on in the city. So we don't really get an opportunity. And then with the online format, especially during these COVID times, the comment section or the opportunity to comment is turned off. So you can't make an online chat, which doesn't interrupt the meeting, by the way. So you don't get to put anything in the format on the YouTube channel. So we're pretty much not able, except through talking with our individual council person, to make a comment that really gives us confidence that we're being heard. That's one thing that really irks me. The second thing is the time frame is just not enough. But we hear from the council people in general that there is a lack of interest and that people don't show up. And I think that is just a false statement, because clearly there is a lot of interest, but we just are not being heard, and we don't have enough available time to be heard or opportunity to be heard. Given COVID has stymied a lot of that opportunity, but using the resources that have been made available to us, we're still not able to be heard. I want to also make, before everyone comments, I also want to make a point on Robert's rules. During the meeting, and I was listening to what Councilman Reeves was saying about changing the agenda and answering the questions about the agenda. Excuse me. When there is a last minute change to agenda, Robert's rules does allow you to, at the opening of the meeting, to vote for a change or an addendum to the agenda before the meeting actually gets started, or at the beginning of the meeting. So when I think it's Councilwoman Williams in District 6 was reciting the rules, that could have been an opportunity to announce a change to the agenda for the vote of no confidence. That's just a comment. So I'd like to get any other opinion on the possibility to change the format to allow the citizens to be able to speak more our concerns during council meeting, and to open up the opportunity for more time when council is meeting to speak our opinions and ask questions.
Well, and I actually I do agree with you on that because I did think about this. Is like as come when people just walk on. It seemed like every meeting they was walking on an item. Like every council meeting, they would walk on an item, and it's kind of frustrating because I says now that's disrespectful to the process because you can only do public comment. You have to turn it in before the meeting starts now, and you can only talk about it if on that topic. But if the meeting agenda changes and somebody walks something on, well, you should literally, by the process, they public should be able to comment on that if they have a comment. And I just believe in, all forms of communication. So as this is, I'm doing hybrid meetings from now on. It's like, cause I don't want to leave people out and this is a new wave. And so it's the new norm that we have to abide to. And so we have to adjust. It's we who have to adjust as now some things are antiquated, just given the last 2 years. And so I think that should be updated from a state level, but it really should be changed and looked at on our level. As if the agenda does change and an item is on, public discussion should be opened up for that very reason. Because you might not have provided a comment for what the topic at hand was, but now this new item or items, you have something to say about that, and you should be allowed that opportunity. As because I did think about that. I think I asked the question is like that. What about that process? Because see, it's process. And if you think you're doing this to a person, that's a lie. You're doing the disrespect to the process, which is disrespect to the people, because y'all don't know if it changes. Y'all don't gonna know if the meeting at the start of the meeting, and you are correct about that. But the vote of no confidence, this was discussed in the executive session. So it wasn't on the item. It wasn't on my topic.
Okay. So is it fair to consider that more time should be given to the citizens for comment, whether it's a new agenda item or a current, previously published agenda item? Because after all, council represents the citizens. You are there to allow us to discuss what you're talking about in the business of the city.
Right.
You are there to represent us. We vote for you. We actually pay for you.
Yes, that's a great idea.
Thank
you. And so as yeah, so but let me just say this. You can always send an email to the entire body of the council with your concerns. I know it's not the same thing as public comment, and you can send it to the clerk and ask him to put that on the record. So your comment wouldn't be verbally, but it'll be written. And that will be shown on the record. So
without that, Councilman, with the way the council has been working, the way the city has been working, and the executive branch, that's where my vote of no confidence lies. Because if I send something that I've done in the past, I don't get responses by email or phone calls. So that's where my frustration is lying right now. It's not so much to see my head on swivel with all the bickering back and forth. When I have questions that are legitimate to concerns in the city that impacts my everyday life, my communities every day, and I send in or phone in or email, I don't get responses. I'm concerned when the suggestion is email somebody and I'll get a response, because it doesn't happen.
I respond, don't I? I'm just want to.
You do,
you
do, but you do, and I still, how many times I have come to you on the same topic, the same concern, and I still do not get responses from the city.
So I'm just I don't even know if I should say this or not, but I agree with you. Let me just say it.
Yeah.
And so I'm just gonna say, as I 100% agree with you, and actually agree with you out there back in February, but I'm just gonna keep moving as I'm there with you.
Okay.
And that's why I'm saying we're in our budget season right now. I'm not distracted. And I just can't, I cannot afford to get distracted because for what you just said.
Exactly.
And get this, and also too, let's not forget Stacks and Mallory Road, because I'm just highly and that's why I say anyway, transportation. So I don't want to get on that because it's going to give me,
I'll
I'm
say
going
one
to need some
I
lead.
see other people have their hands up. What I'm talking about, folks, is not just Stacks and Mallory Road. I live on Mallory Road, Williams Bluff subdivision. Our neighborhood is in a bubble, dead zone. We cannot get 911 clear service on a digital format because if, most people use their cell phones if you have an emergency. We cannot be identified by 911 because and we are told that we that
we're failing
it
because of
doesn't have the
flies.
structure to find us for 911. They need cell towers, and no one can answer the question as to why the city will not invest in the cell towers when the funds actually sit in the city. There was CARES Act funds given to the city in 2021 and again in 2022. So this is a matter of life and death, and it's very serious. No one will answer that question.
Well, we had a 30-day series. Last time we're working on the one they had told you they got to identify, and so we're getting into the grant and we're getting ready to prepare, which we're going to be sending this out. And our grant writing class, we're going to actually identify the grant. We're going to actually write the grant that's identified. As this is going to be kind of we're coming to meet to write the prospective grants, and I'm working on a grant administrator and a technical writer of grants who can come in and give assistance. As we're going to literally block out however long we can map this out, whatever it's due. Because people want to shop around and hey, I want to pay a person to write a grant, but sometimes you might be your own best grant writer, and so you just don't know it. You just have to actually do it. So that's what we're going to be doing. So, because you're right, those funds.
The city, excuse me, Council. I don't want to interrupt again, but I have to. The city has a grant manager, but doesn't have a grant writer. Hello?
Correct. Now is that putting the cart before the horse or the horse before the cart?
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, so that's why I'm frustrated. If I can stand before the council, the city manager, the city mayor, and ask why we have that question and we can't get an answer. Hello? I'm really frustrated. I could have a heart attack and I can't get 911 to come and help me.
Well,
because
they
might send Fulton County, they might send East Point, they might send Union City before they decide that it's City of South Fulton.
In which they will stand around and wait for City of South Fulton to come because it's out of their jurisdiction.
I'm sorry.
I got to jump in with Ms. Mapp. I haven't even talked to Councilman Reeves. I just need you to know, literally today, I was told that I was overstepping my bounds to ask why we focused on the grant manager and not getting grant writers. That wasn't my place to ask those questions. So why don't you send me an email so that I can show them that the residents really do ask us these questions? We try to get the answer. They think we just being in the middle, the council is just in the middle of their business.
I asked Mr.
Ask me what I think about when they say this is overstepping her boundaries.
I will.
Get this. Go do it again. Do it tomorrow. Because how can you overstep your boundaries? She's a constituent. People forget that. And that's why I tell folks is this is all important that they have to be here. Because you don't just, in this administration, we're all in.
Okay. Hey, Councilman.
I promise y'all. I cut up in that building on y'all behalf on a regular basis.
Tamiko.
Thank you.
I go to people hard, and Councilman Reeves, I literally just Friday, Councilman Reeves had to tell me, did you send that in the email? Stop going at them like that.
No, I didn't say stop going at them like that. I said
Hey,
go
we have,
again. As
we have
understand,
Miss,
so y'all know that thing with
hey,
Keenan and Peele?
Councilman Reed, we have Mr. Farrell, and then we have.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I just want to say one thing about the issue of quote unquote corruption. My only concern with that was that particular individual that says that was on the council from the beginning, and you didn't catch it. I mean, that's just how I look at it, if it's that corrupt. That's one.
Right.
So that's one. Two, again, Camelot, like Councilman Reed said, this issue was going on before the city. I've already talked to Judge Sheridan, who's the chief judge, and we have a similar issue in where I work at with a condo community. They had $200,000 stolen from them before we became a city. Then they want the city to try to fix it. Problem is this, like Councilman Reed said, we displace those people. They're not going to say that HOA put them out. They're going to say the city put them out, and where you're going to put them. American Red Cross, all those places only give them like 3 to 7 days of funding to stay in a residence. So you know what we did as code enforcement? I've had them in court for the last 2 years. Every month, they're finally getting buildings repaired, roofs done, painting and all this, but literally had them in court and wrote over 85 citations for all the HOA folks, as well as we wrote the individual owners of the buildings just to put them in the loop so they know what their HOA dues are going, because this is the thing, they're getting HOA dues from somebody. I don't know how much they are. Where I'm at, they're $250 a month. There's 180 units, so you do the math. That's a lot of money, even if it's 60 to 70% occupied. So what are they doing with it? So that's all I have to say.
Right, and I apologize to the constituency, because y'all having to deal with Camelot. I mean, we have other problems. They got detention pond issues. They afraid their homes are rolling away. Like, there's other issues. It's more to the city than Old National, but Old National is our #1 small business ecosystem generator economically. So, but we do have to look at that. But to that, we got 5 Fortune 100 companies surrounding Buffalo and the Flash O's. So, I understand what $5 million facility right down in Fairburn. I mean, we have to look at. I mean, it's coming. Things are coming. We can't just focus on Camelot. Camelot is his own issue, and they label it, and they continue to make their own impact. They want us to drag the people. Really, and so we have to understand that, I'm not going to. Am I on mute? Can y'all hear me? I'm on mute. Y'all missed everything I said? I'm sorry. But I'm not going to give Camelot oxygen for a distraction. They are their own worst enemy, as we already told them they can identify some funds that they're giving out through these CARES Act and ARPA funds that they can pay back their HOA dues and fees. Now, and gave them the county and the resources to do that. Now, if they choose to do it, that's on them. If they don't, I mean, all I can do is lead them to the water. And so, but I'm going to do that in every possible way because my moral obligation is to those 40+ year residents that have nowhere to go and their units are paid for. And I do understand the renters too, as we're trying to find places, but what we really have, people, is a lack of housing some people can afford, or lack thereof. Apartments, condos, homes, duplexes. When I say everything is at market rate, from $975 to $1,650. That's how much it went up. I mean, we're dealing with an issue here, and it's a real issue. But I try to attack that. So that's my focus, is the solution And that's what I'm gonna try to do. The best way I know how. Which y'all help me, because I have some subject matter experts on here. So and I appreciate y'all. I really do, but we have a real issue. And seniors, I tell you, Miss, she hit me to that. And about a year and a half ago, it's really manifesting. It's gonna manifest in a year from now. It's gonna really manifest. So that's my focus. I do care about the people in Camelot that don't have nowhere to go. But at the same time, they have assistance. And I'm trying to get them to get on the assistance. They sitting up there still want to live in mold infested homes and pay the rent. Why are you paying the? So anyway, I'm not gonna give it oxygen. And so we need to stay focused at the task at hand. And so that's the things that we need to do. Go ahead. Anybody next?
I think that's all the questions we had, and there are no questions in the chat. And it's
Well, listen
7:43.
All righty, then I'll wrap up with announcements unless it's the final comments.
No, go ahead. I'll comment after you done.
Oh, well, there
Alrighty.
was a comment in the chat, though. There was a comment that Ms. Collins. And the comment is about the city, the homes in Riggins Ridge. The engineers built those homes, and the homes are being washed away, and that is a greater issue than Camelot.
I'm trying to tell you, thank you for that comment. General, is there funding for that is available? Tamiko, go ahead.
Don't they have didn't the developers put up a bond when they built the subdivision?
So this is what we're trying to take right now. Because I told them is that we can hold that is because they went out there and halfway cleaned them, but they got to cut down some trees and make the channel. Hey, Al, if you go over there, you can literally see where the drainage comes from the street. And they said, oh, well, because we're going a beeline and straight. You can literally see where they just built it up and made it to go left and just all over the place, but correct. Which leads down to the detention pond that's not correct. That goes down to the lake of Fairwood. Because the place on where they're clearing all them trees, Ryan, who lived there. And so he's the one who contacted the EPD and that's what I'm saying. Is like we have a whole. So what affects Riggins Ridge affects right down there at the Lakes of Fairwood, and so it's a area problem that they're causing, and that's why I'm telling them we need to revoke that because if they cause damage to the area problem, they're going to need to fix that area problem, and we should not have to budget for that. It's there. That's why it comes down to impact fees. But that's a conversation for another day.
Well, that's one. But like I said, most developers have to put up a bond.
That's what I'm saying.
Infrastructure,
right?
And and that's where you go back to their bonds and say, hey, look, you're not getting that $2 million bond back because we got to fix what you done messed up.
That's and that's what we did, and that's why they went down and fixed it. And all I keep saying is, Mr. Durden over there. I said, have they rectified? Have they solved it? And he keeps sending back, nope, they ain't sold it. Got to still cut down some trees. Well, we're gonna just keep holding their bond.
I just saw it.
Corey, somebody just put a quote or something about a strip club opening up on an Old National. It came in the chat.
They said it's reopening, but and then
no. The place what you're talking about is the building that was formerly Eye Candy. No, there's no strip club going there.
Is it a restaurant?
I saw a sign. I saw now. Let me just say this. I did see a sign up that says something coming soon. I haven't fully investigated it yet, but I'm going because I got to call in the chief and ask him what that's about. Are they even applying for a liquor license? Because surely y'all can't be putting a strip club not in the 5th district. I mean, maybe they gonna. No, I ain't gonna say that. And so, but no, I don't. I'll find out what it is, but I don't.
They usually have to go in an industrial area. Usually.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And so it would be.
Fulton Industrial.
Yeah, well, they got some other industrial areas too. They made Stacks Road an industrial area. You can have a whole complex over there if you wanted to, which would be absolutely insane, you know.
Mhm.
But
They bet-
Also,
they
Ms.
bet-
Collins wants to know when will we start the grant writing class?
so that's Tamiko, General Lever's gonna do that because she put compiling the list, and we're gonna email that list out. And what you do is you're gonna identify the grant that you want to write, and then but we're gonna, because it's gonna be a series, probably one day a week and one weekend, but like a weekend will be 4 hours or something. I'm looking for a lunch sponsor. I will actually be, you know, because this is gonna be kind of like a focus deal. And get this, I'm included too. I'm gonna learn. Get it, we all learning together. Because I said I'm gonna just pick one and write it. Because hey, the only way we're gonna learn, let's do it all. Let's do it together though, collectively. And so
Yeah, I know that's
it's within the next what? Tamiko, give me the dates. I do not want to quote wrong, but it is gonna be this year, within the next couple of months.
Yes, it's on the list. We're scheduling some other stuff, but I am pulling a list of different grants and trainings together, but I have not confirmed the actual dates because there's some additional information I have to confirm before we can start the classes. But he's correct, it will be before this year, and it should be within the next 1 to 2 months at the latest. I want to get ready to wrap up because we've kind of gone a little past time. And so I want to, I see you, Ms. Collins. Do the announcements really quick. World Changers is doing a back to school event. So on July 30th, 10 to 1, while the first day of Fulton back to school event at Banneker is so July 30th, 10 to 2. So please make sure you're getting Councilman Reeves newsletters because there is a ton of stuff going on in there that I can't even make it through all of the lists. Sandtown is starting their jazz nights on Mondays, 7 to 9. So after you get done with us, then you can go head over there to listen to some jazz. National Night Out is August 2nd, 6 to 8:30 by LA Fitness. South Fulton Chamber on August 4th is having at 12 p.m. a film industry seminar and how to get jobs in that industry. Alrighty, Taste of South Fulton is happening over here at District 5 on August 5th Taste of Soul Food, not South Fulton, I apologize, at 6 to 10. But we're also looking for homeowner association teams to come out and play basketball, flag football, and kickball. So please talk to your neighbors and see who wants to make a team and come out and play. District 6 is having their back to school bash on August 4th, giving out school supplies as well, 3 to 6, August 6th. District 2 is having a fitness challenge and basketball game, 1 to 4. August 9th, we will be having the city council work session at 4 p.m. and the zoning meeting at 6 p.m. back regular session meetings. South Fulton University, it's a 10-week program, is starting the registrations for people who want to participate on learning about the city. And I think I've hit most of them. And if I didn't, avoid heat-related illnesses and the signs. And Fulton County has started a loan recovery program for small businesses from $50,000 to $100,000. And I think I've covered the main things. District 2, July 30th, 11 to 3 in Sandtown Park. With Councilmember Gums and Raul will be having a 3rd annual Healthy South Fulton Family Fun Day in Sports at Sandtown Park.
I think the Fulton County Development Authority is coming on to talk about that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was so busy running down the list.
That's important because get this. I want everybody to get that information. It's and let every grant writer let every nonprofit every small business as this is money that we're gonna get. Go ahead.
Alrighty. He's correct. Next Monday speaker is the Fulton County Economic Development Department. They are coming on to talk about a new grant that's getting ready to be launched for small business and nonprofits. So I don't even think the door has opened. I think they are telling everybody the door is getting ready to open. So people that want the opportunity to get ready should have their pen and pencil ready next week to listen and ask questions. And if you know someone who has a business or a nonprofit, I would strongly tell them to be on that call for the meeting next Monday. And we also asked the city manager to come and attend our meeting, and she was not able to make it tonight. So I gave her an open invitation and let us know what day worked for her.
And that's awesome because that small business grant is up to $500,000. It's a young man running at Kyle Brown, who is over the treasury of the Development Authority. He actually was at the LCI meeting that we had at on Old National at Diamond Hall, and we had a very interesting conversation. And so I'm super excited, and he's from here. So, you know, I'm even more super excited as we just have so much talent within our ecosystem. I don't know why we just don't look within before we look out, but neither here nor there. I don't interfere with staff decision making. So we just I want a championship team. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't believe in participation trophies. I think that's, you know, but whatever. Let's go get that title. Let's bring home the #1 spot. And I believe that in everything. And we can do it as we have done it before everywhere else. So we have a talent pool here. And I'm just going to highlight it, exercise it, and try to bring it and connect that as I'm just going to do the best I can. And Fairwood Community Action Association is having their backpack drive August the 4th at Fairwood Elementary. So I know I'll be there as those kids I go read to. And so everybody else, please, everybody, if we can get everybody gonna join in. Pick a hot dog, eat a hot dog. But just let's go give these backpacks to these kids who are deserving, and Fairwood Community Action Association doing a fantastic job. So, but let's partner with everybody. I think y'all want to do one. Whoever wants us to do one, let's just we can all collectively come together and do them within the communities. But I'm gonna just say this: is some may or may not be happy with my decision, but my decision is independent. It is not a collective decision. I just refuse to be bullied into anything as I defend everything that I make and decision I make because it's sound. Anything other than, but what I will not do and what I'm not going to tolerate, I don't think nobody's going to tolerate, is you're not going to use opportunity through this Diaz to do anything with a vendetta or things that is not becoming out there that's not in the realm of what's happening now, current present day. Is when I say things in the rear view, leave it in the rear view. And I do focus on that windshield. And so, but that is the decision I made. I do stand behind it, and I have stated for that reason. I even invited Mayor Khalid on the show today. I thought we was gonna have more people in person, but that's cool. You know, as y'all done missed all this fried chicken. They got sandwiches, and man, they all in the restaurants on Old National. So feel free to go by and stop by one of them or flash shows. But I'm gonna just say this. Thank y'all too for engaging in the process. As I really wanted to be in person because see, I like to address these things right here in person. And I was going to allow more time out there today because I know that the severity of issues, but I do take this serious. I take this real serious. But the things that are mattering the most to me right now are the things that y'all say y'all don't have. The things that y'all do not have need to be put in as priority items for this budget year so they can be done. And that's more important to me than anything, because without that, we'll be right back here spinning our wheels talking about the same thing. And I don't like talking about the same thing because that's not progress. Is one step forward is progress. So let's just get one thing done. But thank you all for joining the call. I appreciate you taking out your time on this day, and I truly love you. You can't do absolutely nothing about it. And we are in this together, we. And right, wrong, and different. We are all we got, but we are all we need. And thank y'all for being a part of the process, as y'all have every right. And y'all are truly the best part of this city of South Fulton. You on this call, y'all are the constituency, y'all are the people. And I meant what I said. I'll put nobody and nothing, including myself, above the people of this city, because I protect the brand. And that's for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. Thank you so much.